Well, good morning to everyone, and thank you for taking time to be with us here at the Tennessee Highway Patrol District 5 post. My name is Steve Dillard. I am with the Tennessee Highway Safety Office. I am the East Tennessee Law Enforcement Liaison for our office. I want to thank our media for taking time from their schedule today to be with us. We've got a lot going on up here in the area, and we appreciate you being able to attend and be with us today. Today we want to announce that we have begun what we call our SAFE campaign. The SAFE campaign is an acronym for Seatbelts Are For Everyone. And we began this event on February the 1st, and it will run until August the 1st. The agencies that you see behind me are participating agencies for this particular campaign. We are trying hard to bring attention to our driving public about the importance of wearing their seatbelt and to be seatbelted in their vehicles before they even pull out of the driveway, before they get out of a parking lot, and to be prepared to drive on the roadways as they go about their daily activities. We have 15 agencies that have taken on the extra responsibility of participating in this campaign. Those agencies are the Baileyton PD, Bean Station PD, Bristol PD, Cocke County Sheriff's Office, East Tennessee University, Elizabethton Police Department, Greene County Sheriff's Office, Jefferson City PD, Johnson City PD, Kingsport PD, Lincoln Memorial University, Parrottsville PD, Sullivan County Sheriff's Office, Unicoi County Sheriff's Office, and the White Pine Police Department. These agencies are going to spend the next 6 months doing a little extra activities within their communities. And we're looking at not only this being an enforcement event, but we also want to use this as a time of education to teach people why we are advocating seatbelt use so much. You know, in the state of Tennessee, it is a primary offense if you're not wearing your seatbelt. The officers have every right to stop you when they visually see you not wearing it. And there's so many different reasons that people use they don't want to wear it. But we know from data collection, we know from statistics that we receive that more people's lives are saved in a collision when they are belted in. There is nothing more disturbing for the officers than to have to go to a home and give a death notification to a family member that a loved one has just perished in a car crash. Also, you think about the officers arriving on the scene. You know, we're seeing crashes so traumatic that people are being ejected out of their vehicles. We're seeing bodies on the roads when we get there to investigate. Vehicles that are going into a rollover crash. The people not wearing a seatbelt are being thrown out of their vehicles. And we feel like, based on what we look at, that maybe, just maybe, those that have passed away in a crash this year as well as last year, maybe they could have survived. Maybe they could have if they'd had that seatbelt. So we're going to spend some time doing that. As I mentioned again, you know, we try to look at the roadways to make sure the roadways there's not an issue or anything going on. And if there is, we do try to address that with TDOT. I have some good news to bring to you today. As you all know, we have been working hard on our usage rate in the state of Tennessee. In 2017, we were at about 88.5% usage rate, meaning that 88.5% of our driving population is obeying the law and wearing their seatbelt. Well, we were just informed Tuesday that the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration has reviewed all of our survey information from 2018 regarding seatbelt usage. And our new seatbelt rate now is 90.9. That is remarkable that we finally hit that hump and got over that 90 percentile. These officers behind me probably don't know this. This may be the first that they've heard of it. So we're very excited that we finally got at least over 90% of our driving population wearing their belts. But because of that, doesn't mean we're going to stop what we're doing. We're going to continue our enforcements. We're going to continue our education, because the way we feel in law enforcement, one fatality is one too many. And it's something that we wish we did not have to deal with in our jobs, of having to see somebody lose their life out here on our roadways. So the message that we're really wanting to send home is to our driving folks out here on our roads: please wear your seatbelt. Please get in the habit of putting your seatbelt on before you begin your travels across the state of Tennessee or anywhere across the United States. Crashes happen in a split second. Normally they happen when we least expect it to occur. So the more we are prepared to operate our cars, the better we're protected within our cars. We feel like that's the point we want to drive home to everybody. So we appreciate the fact that our seatbelt rate is increased, and we look forward to what we'll be doing this year in regards to occupant protection. At this time, I'd like to introduce to you Lieutenant Rick Garrison. He is with the Tennessee Highway Patrol, the District 5 Lieutenant. The Tennessee Highway Safety Office and the Tennessee Highway Patrol, we work very close together. We have a very good working relationship, and we share a lot of times looking over data, statistics, and looking at fatalities. And I appreciate Lieutenant Garrison taking time to be with us. So, Lieutenant, you want to share some words, please?
In our career as police officers, we sometimes encounter many tragedies. One of the most preventable tragedy we are seeing people being seriously injured or killed in traffic crashes. Most crashes are the result of someone doing something they shouldn't be doing while driving, such as drinking and driving, using drugs and driving, or driving aggressively, or driving distracted. Many folks are often injured or killed in these crashes by failing to wear their seatbelts. Law enforcement officers know that the most important safety component is the driver and their willingness to drive safe. The most important piece of equipment in this vehicle is the seatbelt. This one thing alone saves more lives than a safe driver or the safest vehicle money can buy. Please wear your seatbelt. Buckle up your children and other passengers voluntarily every trip. Because once you start to crash, there's no pause or do-over button. The Tennessee Highway Patrol supports all our local law enforcement and the Tennessee Highway Safety Office with the ultimate goal in the reduction of traffic fatalities on Tennessee's highways.
Thank you, Lieutenant, for your words. At this time, I'd like to introduce to you Sheriff Wesley Holt. Wesley is the sheriff for the Greene County Sheriff's Office, and Sheriff Holt also is one of our network coordinators who works very closely with our office. And I appreciate him being able to take time from his schedule to be here today and to share a few comments. So, Sheriff, you want to share some things?
Thank you, Steve. Seatbelts are for everyone, the young and the old. Every day, every one of these officers behind me sees a fatality that they work or a crash they work that a fatality has happened, and they see where seatbelts could have made a difference. Education is very important in seatbelts. As parents, caregivers, we should be buckling up. That way our children are watching us buckle up and seeing what we're doing every day. It's a learned response. We start with those young children when we have children, and we place them in car restraint seats. We buckle them in. We buckle them in the booster seats. We're saving lives that way. And this is what we've got to be doing as adults, is showing children how to buckle up. Click that belt. Make it happen. This way, it's a learned response. I've got two daughters, 13 and 17. And I don't have to tell them to put the seatbelt on in the vehicle. They have seen me and my wife, when we get in that vehicle, put the seatbelt on. My daughter last night asked me, said, "What's your agenda for today, Daddy?" And I said, "I got to go speak at a press event at Fall Branch about seatbelts." And she said, "You know, if I didn't put my seatbelt on, I'd feel strange if I didn't put my seatbelt on." And this is my oldest 17-year-old daughter. And that makes me feel good to know that they're out there putting that seatbelt on. So we've got to make that seatbelt click. As adults, caregivers, parents, show those children that it means. We've got to start with the young children, and as adults, we've got to do that too. But let's make that seatbelt click. Thank you.
Thank you, Sheriff, for your kind words. I'd like to introduce to you Chief Deputy Derek Woods. He is with the Cocke County Sheriff's Office. Chief Woods is also one of our network coordinators for this area. And Chief Woods will be sharing some words with you, but he too had a crash several years ago. And I think he'll probably share some things with you. But we also have a family with us today that Chief Woods is going to talk to you a little bit about, that no doubt that a seatbelt was primarily responsible for saving this young man. So Chief Woods, would you come up and share some things?
Again, as we've all discussed, seatbelts are for everyone. It's for me, it's for you, it's for everyone in your family, it's for everyone in your community. All those people in a major incident where a seatbelt could have made a difference get affected. I personally know how important a seatbelt is. I'm very thankful, and I'm glad that I was taught at a young age by my parents and my teachers and my instructors to use a seatbelt. The most important thing in a car is you. The next most important thing is your behavior in using that seatbelt. You have to make it a way of life. We're going to enjoy life. There's so much to offer. We can only take it away from ourselves if we don't use that seatbelt. If we knew when something was going to happen, we'd have on a seatbelt and a roll cage. We don't. But what you have is a seatbelt, and you know it works. I spent 30 years doing this job. I have seen thousands of accidents. I have seen very few people seriously injured or killed in a seatbelt. That's a proven fact. It works for me. It works for you. Today, I want to tell you about a young man, William Levi Irby, a Cocke County High School student. In November, in Cocke County, his vehicle left the roadway. As it left the roadway, everything that was not attached in the vehicle pretty much came out of the vehicle. It rolled twice. As I arrived on scene, Mr. Irby had a slight cut on his hand. That day, you know, as I saw he was standing there and uninjured, trying to gather up things to put back in the back of his vehicle before he got towed and his parents arrived, to see the devastation and the relief on their eyes to know that he wore his seatbelt. He survived, uninjured. Had he not made that decision that day, as he was taught by his parents, and taught in the driver's education class in Cocke County High School, to put it on every time, it would have made a tremendous difference in his life. It would have devastated not only his life, his parents' life, and our community. So today I want to recognize William Levi Irby on behalf of the Tennessee Highway Safety Office and the Cocke County Sheriff's Department for the life-saving choice and for the strong example you provide to others on the importance of wearing seatbelts. You are living proof that seatbelts save lives. I have a picture also of Levi's vehicle. As it overturned, everything came out of it, and at the results of it. He was strapped in this vehicle. A world of difference would have been made had he not been.
Chief, thank you very much, and thank you for making that presentation. So as you can see, this is an example of someone making the right choice and decision to put that belt on before he left to go where he was going. And looking at the photo and talking with Chief Woods a little bit about the crash, no doubt that seatbelt did what it's supposed to do. And Levi, you're with us today, and I'm thankful you made that choice. And I hope that the people that you go to school with that may have heard your story will understand the importance, and maybe they'll change their behavior, we hope. And I also want to say to his parents, thank you all for being with him today and being with us and allowing us this opportunity to recognize him. I do want to mention that I do have one more coordinator with me, Lieutenant Jerry Hughes. He's with the Unicoi County Sheriff's Office, and I appreciate Jerry coming and being with us today as well. In closing, let me leave with you all that, you know, what we're doing out here on our roads, we are all safe-minded people. We want to make these roads as safe as we can for everyone. And I heard a story yesterday at our other press event we did in Knoxville that a particular lieutenant was doing a speech at a event, and a person came up to him and told him, says, "I don't wear my seatbelt, don't intend to. It's my choice, and I'm not going to wear it." And it took him off guard a little bit when this person made that statement. But as he thought about it, he went back and asked that person, "Do you have a wife or girlfriend or some significant person that's in your life?" He said, "Yes, I do." "Do you have children or grandchildren, anybody like that?" He said, "I have children." And he said, "If you won't wear it for yourself, think about your family. Think about them. Do you want them to have to be notified that you lost your life in a crash because you made a decision not to wear it?" And if you think about that, probably a lot of people have some mindset to that. So as we leave you today, to our drivers, all we ask you to do is obey the law, do what the law says, wear your seatbelt, and prepare yourself, as we all should be doing, to drive defensively, because you do not know when a collision is going to happen. And the better you're prepared before you leave home and start your journey, hopefully your story will have some success and a good ending as Levi's did today. So thank you to our media for coming out and participating with us on this press event. I want to thank again Lieutenant Garrison, Sheriff Holt, and Chief Woods for sharing some thoughts on this event. And at this time, this press event is concluded. Thank you.